Hey guys, this is AgentMindStorm, and welcome back to my survival series. Last episode, we finished the Nether Gates, which has been like a project on hold since episode 64. We've had much bigger projects since then, such as, obviously, as I'm climbing up right now, the Guardian Farm, and all the other things like my island, the residential area. But now that all those are at least done-ish, I thought that we should work on the Nether, and now that the Nether's gates are done-ish, we're going to go back to the Ocean Monument project, because we've left this sitting here for a little while. I think it's because I ran out of Prismarine, and then I just didn't know what to do. But my plan that I've figured out is this. We're going to build the very most basic part of the farm so that it can function and kill guardians, and then once we've got that built, we'll just get Prismarine from there, and we're going to build it before we convert to Bedrock, and then once we convert to Bedrock, we will rebuild it to match how it's going to work in the new version, because they changed how all the spawning mechanics work. They're really weird. I should report it as a bug so they might fix it, but basically, we need to just get it working on Console Edition for now so we can start getting Prismarine to finish the rest of it. So, before we do that though, I want to show you the Nether Hub, which, since the last episode, I have covered in carpet. There should be no spawnable spaces in here except on the snow, which I'm going to cover with actual snow eventually, like this part. I just didn't have enough snow. As you can see, this has to use carpet instead of snow, because snow cannot be placed on packed ice. Every single block in here is either carpeted or slabbed, or lit up. There aren't many lit up ones, though. Mostly it's just carpet or slabs, because we have to stop stuff from spawning. Obviously, we don't want guys to get in here and burn everything down, because once we actually build the main Nether Hub design, it's going to look completely different. It's not a box with stuff in it, it's going to be a box with stuff in it in the Nether. So, except it's not going to be Nether themed. That's the only Nether themed thing in here. That's why it's going to be interesting. It's going to feel out of place in the Nether, because it will be out of place in the Nether with everything else, but whatever. Basically, there's no spawnable spaces in there, so no blazes should be spawning, which is basically just my goal. That was my goal, and it's done now. So since no blazes should spawn, we should be safe from any future burning incidents. Also, in between episodes, I was trying to sleep at my bed, and it kept saying there were monsters nearby, and I'm like, I know the blaze in the floor doesn't affect this, so what is doing it? So I'm like, okay, I'll just check outside. I open the door, and there's just a creeper standing there. I got a little clip of it. Here's the clip. Basically, just I had to go out through a different exit, like I had to break a wall upstairs and then kill him from behind, because I didn't know really what to do there. I was just freaking out. Like, why is there a creeper at my door? And that's happened multiple times, too. I mean, it's such a common occurrence. I don't get it. Whatever. Anyways, today, we're going to be turning this bedrock into something more than just a bedrock floor. It's going to be, like, a bedrock watery floor. That's the first thing we're going to do, so let's just get it started now. The first thing we need is an infinite water source, so right there. Now, I've talked about this plan a few other times, but in case you haven't heard it, we're going to be filling all the holes in the bedrock with water. In the bedrock. I'm sorry, I'm not talking right today. We're going to be filling all these holes with this stuff, the water, and then it'll look really a lot better than if we just left it to be plain bedrock, because plain bedrock looks really boring and ugly, because bedrock is one of the most ugly blocks, if not the ugliest block in the entire game. Probably the ugliest, now that I think about it. Like, is there anything that looks worse than bedrock? No. No, there isn't. Also, I don't know what happened with the water placing here, but, didn't work right. Our goal is going to be having still water, too. We don't want it to be, like, flowing, because flowing water looks pretty bad, to be honest. Oh, and speaking of water looking bad, yes, we are on Console Edition, so we don't have the updated water. I would like to convert, but there's still a bunch of issues with it, and I just can't convert yet. Would love to eventually, the fact that it still doesn't work right is really discouraging. I mean, you would think that it's been over a year since Bedrock Edition first launched, and my world still has problems when I try to convert it. I mean, it converts, and I can get into it, and most stuff works, but weird things happen, like all the skeleton horses lose their saddles, some of them, their stats completely change. Most of that was fixed, but some of them still have issues. Farm Central, the villager just stops farming, and then also there's the fact that the menus just are not really good at all yet. So, hopefully, we'll wait out until they make the menu update by the community thing that they were talking about, where the community designs the menus, that I am sort of hopeful for. Hopefully it works right and we don't end up with even worse menus, because I can imagine some really bad menu designs coming from the community. So hopefully people understand, or the developers understand, what we actually want in menus and what some 6-year-old wants in menus. It's funny how I make fun of 6-year-olds when it's very obvious I am. Never mind. All this water, though, it's looking good already. You know, something that I found weird about this area is I thought bedrock is a few layers deep. Like, I thought there were a few layers of bedrock and then you hit the unbreakable bedrock. But according to this area, it's just there's one layer of bedrock. And then one layer sticking out. I don't think that's normal. Then again, I haven't really looked at bedrock too much. It's so weird when I'm talking about bedrock to differentiate from bedrock edition, the block bedrock. Like, what do I say? Maybe I'll call bedrock badrock, and then the edition is just bedrock. Okay, so badrock. Badrock looks really bad. Possible inspiration for the name right there. So this water is spreading, and now I'm just going to go up to show you how it looks, because I really, just look at this. It looks so much cooler. It's like some weird destroyed area instead of just a boring thing. At least it's interesting. And I can't believe we actually dug this all the way down to the bottom level, too. It's really, I don't know. This project is just the biggest thing I have ever tried to do in Minecraft, probably. I don't think I've ever done a bigger project than drawing an entire ocean monument in mostly single player. I got some help from friends, but very, very little overall. Also, if you're noticing that it's really dark, but there's no mobs down here, that's not because it's peaceful, it's because mobs can't spawn on Badrock. Badrock just does not let mobs spawn on it. It's why mobs don't spawn above the nether. I think that's actually the reason. It's so that mobs won't spawn above the nether, where they're not supposed to exist. Oh, that's another thing that's weird when I convert to bedrock. Above the nether, you know how we had that episode 32, a long time ago, breaking bedrock? Where I put a portal above the nether? Well, whenever I use the portal from my island to the nether in the bedrock world, I get put above the nether, except there's no portal up there, because you can't place blocks above the nether in bedrock edition. So what they did, when it converts, the blocks technically exist, but they don't appear, so I can't break it. So I can never actually remove the portal. It's hard to explain. Basically, whenever I use any portal above 128 blocks, it will teleport me above the nether instead of in the nether like it's supposed to. And that's just not good. Also, this water is looking real good as opposed to the above the nether area. And I think intertwining it with Badrock looks really good. I love it. I never really thought too much about what to do with this area, but once I figured it out, like what we're doing now, I think it looks really good. So another thing that I've been trying to do more recently is play on realms, because when I got invited to a realm, sometimes it feels hard, right, to keep playing the realm, but once you get a big project going, you can play on it for a long time, because big projects are motivation. Motivation makes me want to play it more. So all I needed to get was a big project, which in the case of the realm I'm playing on, it's an end base. Also, is there flowing water over here? I thought I saw flowing water. Weird. So there's only like a quarter of the room that doesn't even have the stuff now, the water, so you'll just fill it up. I don't know how they get all this random bedrock generation, or who thought of Badrock, I'm sorry. Not bedrock. I'm trying to remember, this is Badrock now. Because it's literally a bad rock. It's bad in every way. What is there that's good about bedrock? I mean Badrock, sorry. It's just, I'm gonna stop using this naming system. It's terrible. Speaking of naming systems, I love what they did with Java Edition 1.13, fixing all the names of items. So instead of like chain armor, it's chainmail armor. That's actually the one that I probably didn't like. But most of them are so much better. For example, instead of melon, it's melon slice. Instead of golden apple, it's enchanted golden apple. Instead of seeds, it's wheat seeds. Just little improvements that should have been made a long time ago. They made them all in one big batch. And the only reason I even know about them is because when I was doing Java Aspect, I noticed they called cod instead of fish. And I thought that was weird. But then I had to look, okay, did they change any other names? Oh, they changed a lot of names. And then that's how it started. And then I went, converted like every single name. Most of the things they did, though, are related to blocks like wood and bricks. Oops, I cut myself off. Didn't mean to do that. I am sorry. I didn't realize the recording limit was reached for game DVR. I haven't done that in a long time. Wow. That's amazing. I haven't forgotten to stop recording for quite a while. Crazy. Anyways, look at all this water. It's almost full. I know this is not the most interesting thing to do. I was planning on mostly building floors. I didn't think placing all water would take this long. Evidently it does, though. I wish placing water did not take half the episode, because it's been half the episode about. It's probably not half yet. We're getting close, though. That's not good. Also, it's so dark here I can barely see where I'm placing. That's why I can't tell if the bucket is full or not, because I'm not looking at the hotbar. But I think it's done. Okay, there's a little bit over here that's not done. But now I think it's done. I do not think there is a single area where there's not water. Oh, never mind. Of course there was an area that there wasn't water. There we go. Now, let's see. Is there any water over here? I mean, yeah, there is. Is there not any water over here? Nope, there's all water. Is there any okay, this area definitely looks like water, and I can see it because of the lava up there. Yup, finally. Okay, now it looks cool. We're gonna build floor over it. Now, of course, it's not just gonna be building floor directly over it so you can't see it. That would be stupid. What would be the point of all the work we just did if we're just gonna cover it up? No, 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 no. We gotta make it harder. We gotta make it harder on ourselves to do this, of course. So the first thing we need to do is, see this elevator over here? That's ready for the, I forget what you call it, the, ow. Basically, it's ready to convert to Bedrock Edition so the bubble columns will work. Well, we also need to, remove this ladder. We're not going to do that right now. Actually, let's do it right now. We don't need this ladder. And I'm going to get an elytra, because I don't want to climb a huge ladder again. I'm trying not to use the elytra as much and rely on it, because it uses all the fireworks, which are pretty expensive. Oh my gosh, I did it. I fell in the water. Oh my gosh. Just land on the edge. Land on the Great Wall. Come on. There. Finally. Now, we need to remove the ladder from top down. And see this area here with these wooden trapdoors? This is an area that we'd benefit by converting a lot. Every day, conversion gets closer. I think Super Duper Graphics Pack, when that comes out, we probably will convert around the same time. I don't know why, but if I'm having to guess how long it'll take them to fix the issues of Bedrock. Speaking of fixing issues, okay, I'm gonna get back to the other thing quickly, but they have fixed a lot of issues in the latest beta. I'm really glad they focused on bug fixing. Even though they did add a lot of new stuff, I love scaffolding. Scaffolding is great. And so, like, instead of these ladders and stuff, we could use scaffolding. Now, we do still need a ladder up to that platform, but it's way easier than needing a giant ladder. So, back to what I was talking about before. By the time Super Duper Graphics Pack gets released, we will probably be converted, because Super Duper Graphics Pack has been postponed indefinitely. So, it's not saying too much, but basically, by the time it comes out, we will probably maybe be ready. So now that this is cleared, you can actually see the floor. We're going to start building it. It being the floor. So we need to first figure out the corners. So the corner is right here. This is one of them. Right at this block. At least it should be. Looks like it, right? Yeah, this is one of the corners. So we need to just mark it somehow. I think we're going to do acacia up. And then dark prismarine, right there. So that is going to be one of the corners of the big guardian killer. And then this should be the second corner right here, which it is. And then we just need to build around here. So once we got these corners established, we should be able to build the rest of it. So corners are, of course, important. Without corners, how could you... You know, corners are honestly... What if I just went into a rant about corners? Corners are evil, but their corners are also good. Corners are everything, and corners are nothing. Because they are just a concept of a 90-degree turn or less. It's usually up to 90 degrees, because over 90 degrees gets turned into a curve. I should stop with this. It's not going anywhere. Okay, now we need to build the actual floor. So it's going to be prismarine, right? And then it's going to go prismarine bricks. And then prismarine again. That's not down there, though. Because the reason we're leaving a block of space, if you're not sure, is because we need an area where we can actually transport items with hoppers and do it quickly and also secretly. It's not like a super secret thing. It's just we need to be able to deliver them very fast. Actually, we could start from the middle here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and then window, 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 window. Yeah, okay, it's lined up. I was making sure I lined up the side that's being built out from the elevator over to the middle, and it's hard to do because I haven't exactly prepared glass. That's a problem. I need some glass. Do I have any cactus green, light blue dye? Any cyan glass at all? Really? Okay. Well, I guess I know where we're going. The desert. There should be a desert up this over this direction. Okay. I almost went the exact wrong way. But here's the mini desert. It's not a very big area. I haven't really touched this savanna up here yet, but there's a lot of savannas in the world where there is just no savanna wood at all because I ripped it all down to build the prison. I mean, seriously, there are entire savannas where there's just no trees. It's kind of sad. It's like deforestation to the max. Anyways, now that we've got some cacti, let's replant a few so that we can have more later, but let's also fly on over. We need to get on a new stack of fireworks, man. And then we can fly back to the ocean monument, which is all the way over here. Just look at how crazy this looks, by the way. A giant hole in the ocean, a pit, a way down. And let's not die. That would be bad. So, glass. We have the glass. Cactus. So, we need cyan glass. That's why I went out there. Light blue looks bad, I think. Wait. Is this light blue or cyan? Before we start smelting stuff. I think it's cyan, but it might be light blue. Let's check. It is cyan. I was right. Okay. I'm burning myself to death. Whatever. Who really cares if you burn yourself to death, you know? Nothing to worry about. Can you freeze blocks that are waterlogged? That's an interesting question that I should investigate sometime. Also, once the floor in here gets built, we won't need this platform, because we can move the platform down to ground level. And it's going to be so much better once this room is finished. It's just we have to start finishing it. So, I thought we would start it today, right? It's obviously we're not going to finish today, since we're nearing the end of this episode. I think I might extend it like a tiny bit, but it does need to just be long enough that we can get at least good progress on this area. Because we did the whole water thing that I wasn't expecting to take so long. Now we got glass, or at least we're getting glass. That's what we're doing right now. And then we can craft the stained glass right here. So, cyan, yes. And then we need to build 4x4 windows right here that go show into the bedrock. Show there's nothing down there, but also look kind of neat. They're not necessary in any way, but they also add a lot to the room. Because I think glass in floors is seriously underrated for this game. I mean, people don't build enough with floor glass. It's something that needs to be done. That's why I have dimension windows at my house. And it's really cool, especially when you're high up. But we're underground. We're literally the opposite of high up. We are down as low as possible. But basically, this is how the windows are going to look. They're like, looking at the bedrock down there, we could put some fish down there too. And maybe if we put in a bunch of fish down there, we could get them to stop spawning up there. Because another issue I noticed with the Guardian farm is we get more fish than we do Guardians. And maybe they're slowing down the rates, maybe not, I don't know. But we don't want to really take risks. Also, I'm not so sure about this now, because I just remembered we don't put windows on these, we only put windows on the corners. Because these center areas are going to actually be overlapped by stairs, so putting windows looks really bad. Oops, we made a mistake. Now we gotta break it. Then we gotta find some other... I think we should build, like, with stairs and slabs of prismarine when we convert over, because they can look really good. So, as you can see, guys, we really do need to convert soon. It's just, I want to get the farm at least working before we convert so that we can farm a lot of prismarine and we don't have to completely rework the farm by the time we convert. So this hole, I guess that's just going to stay like that for a little bit because we have more pressing issues like windows that need to be built. Also, is there running water? I swear, I saw running water down there. I don't get it. It always looks like there's running water, and then I look again, and there's no water running. What? I'm so confused. Also, I built out too far. Oops. Let's break that. Let's not lose it, though. Now we need to just finish the window. So the corners will have windows. Not corners again, Agent. I'm telling you. Please don't talk about corners. Everyone starts begging. Well, I'm going to talk about corners if I want to. Corners are nice. Corners are important, and corners are, more important than you. Just saying. Now, obviously, I appreciate you, but corners don't. Corners think they're all that. And we should build a ring around the room at floor level, like this, so that we can just have it there. Now, the one thing we gotta remember is this prismarine is no longer in a monument, nor is it bedrock. So creatures can now spawn on those dark areas. So we need to just light it up in the corners. And the middle should be okay, but a lot of this room is still dark. We need to start building the sea lanterns. There's actually going to be sea lanterns in here, right in the middle of these areas. Actually, no. In the corners of these areas, like here, where there's going to be sea lanterns. But we don't have sea lanterns for the reason that, once again, oh my gosh, I keep falling in the water. Once again, we haven't farmed enough. There's some sea lanterns, like this one here, but we don't have any in the chest as far as I'm aware. Yeah, as you can see, no sea lanterns at all. So, I guess we'll just end here. This is a good stopping point. We got a lot of progress done in this room. We didn't get amazing amounts done, but we got the groundwork. Literally, we worked on the ground. We made the ground look cool for windows, which, like this one, where, see, look at how interesting this looks. You can just see straight to the bedrock with water in it. And there might be tropical fish down there sometime when we convert, I don't know. Anyways, guys, that is the end of this episode, so I do want to tell you all thanks for watching, and I will see you later.